Thank you for joining us. I'm Katharina Yancey. Diabetes can lead to serious foot problems. Mike Smith with Foot Solutions is here to answer some of your questions. Mike, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Kat.
Tell me, how long have you been in the business of helping people with foot problems?
We've been in Little Rock now for 12 years helping people with their foot problems.
Tell me about what is a licensed certified podiatrist?
Okay, a licensed certified podiatrist is, first of all, we are licensed by the state of Arkansas. So we have to take a board exam and be accredited to look at people's feet and to assess them and deal with the abnormalities of the human foot. But mostly it's biomechanical and foot pathology that we do. Doctors refer to us especially for diabetic feet.
Diabetes impacts so many Arkansans. Tell me what you see with it.
It's probably the most serious condition today for mankind. Diabetes is an autoimmune disease. So there's no cure for diabetes, although you can have diabetes and get better and have your A1C count below the threshold of being diabetic. But the issues with diabetic feet are that because you have reduced circulation in your foot, you have loss of feeling. Now, some people that have loss of feeling would like to have complete loss of feeling because it burns, it stings, it hurts their feet, and they comment like it feels like needles in my feet. And then you have the other extreme where they don't have any feeling at all. The problem with it is calluses can form on the foot because shoes do not provide any support for our body. Okay. So the friction caused by the human foot rubbing inside the shoe can create a callus. Now that callus then can form an ulcer under the callus. You wouldn't realize you have that because you don't feel anything. So when we see patients, the very first thing we're going to look for are deep calluses. That's a concern that possibly they've got an ulcer under there.
It sounds like each patient, it's one-on-one. You have to look at them specifically and treat them for their specific needs.
Yes, absolutely. And for diabetic patients, if you're on Medicare, for example, which most of our diabetic patients are at this stage in their life, Medicare will cover 80% of their products. And if they've got a secondary insurance, that'll cover the other 20% in most cases. So there's really no reason not to have your feet checked if you have diabetes, because you may have a problem you're not even aware of, and you can get them paid for through the shoe bill that Congress passed in 1997.
Are some of your diabetes patients able to come away pretty quickly with some results?
Oh my goodness. I had a patient this past week that got his orthotics, and he had seen his doctor, and the doctor sent him in with a prescription that stated that he had fallen arches and a disorder in his foot. Well, a fallen arch in a human foot without diabetes is a problem painfully. For a diabetic, it's a serious problem because they can actually lose their foot, okay? And this patient was in that danger. So his foot had completely collapsed, and it's called Charcot foot and diabetic foot. The bones begin to fuse together because it's on the ground flat all the time. So it's a very serious condition. With him, his ligaments were still flexible enough that we could make an orthotic and lift his arch back up, and his pain was almost immediately relieved. So we went back to see his doctor for a follow-up, and he was so proud. He took him out and showed his doctor what he had, and he said, "Doc, it's unbelievable. I have no pain." And this patient had serious inflammation in his foot for more than a year, and I just saw him for his 2-week checkup this week. We do 2-week and 4-week checkups after we see our patients to make sure that everything is doing what we expect it to do. And he said, "Doc, this is," and of course I'm not a doc, but he calls me doc. He said, "You've changed my life. You really changed my life. I have no pain. It's unbelievable. I thought I was going to be doomed to have pain the rest of my life."
Incredible. You are definitely changing lives. Mike Smith with Foot Solutions, thank you so much for being here. And for more information, go to Foot Solutions. We'll see you next time.
The custom inserts keep my feet from hurting, and I have had no issues since I started wearing them. Rosie and Mike genuinely care about their customer.
All the staff personnel were friendly as well as informative. I never had a question that didn't get an answer. The workmanship was superb and fit was remarkable. I was extremely satisfied with the overall experience and will certainly recommend the firm to others in need.